Hey and welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. And this is my weekly update number 94, and it is January 12th, 2025. Still can't get used to that 2025s. But that's okay, I'll get there. So, well, what did I do this week? Well, I managed to complete 3 quilt tops. I finished crocheting that progressive tunic I had been working on, and I crocheted a few other smaller things. I finished another cross stitch, and I finished a diamond painting. So last week I had asked whether you guys thought I should keep track again this year of everything I did, and most people said yes. So I'm keeping track again. So I've got it all written down. Now, I have really wanted to get over and do some long arm quilting because the long arm is not here. It's at my parents' house. For Mother A Nature has different plans, so that hasn't happened. I'm really wanting to go quilt that Crown Royal quilt that I have just to get that done. But, you know, last Sunday we were expecting a snowstorm and we got snow. I think we got about 11 inches drop down Sunday, Monday morning-ish. And then Friday, we got about another 3 inches. And it's cold, so that snow isn't going anywhere. So, winter has arrived. Let me know in the comments down below what weather's like in your area. Now, I do want to say my thoughts are with everybody dealing with the fires in California. I just can't even imagine that. Large-scale fires consuming all those houses in that much area. I just can't even wrap my mind around it. That's so just awful and horrific. So everybody out there, I hope you stay safe, and my thoughts are with you. So what did I do this week? Well, as I said, I didn't get any quilting done, but I did get this done. This was the backing for my Rose and Bloom Block of the Month quilt that I had done. Now, I did show a picture of this in my fabrics last week on my weekly updates, and this is the backing that's going to go on the back of it. Here's a look at what their backing looks like, and there's mine. So I did do that. So it is now ready to be quilted. Here's just a quick look at the front of that quilt. Now, I'm not going to undo all of this because it would be hard to see anyway unless I hang it up. So that is the backing. Now, as far as my totals, I'm going to go ahead and counted this as a quilt top, even though it's a backing, just because I had to do piecing to get that all together. So that is ready to be quilted. What else did I do? Well, I managed to finish this little quilt top. It's more of a table topper. This was from a Creative Notion subscription box from a long time ago. The star in a square tabletop or wall hanging. Just in time for Valentine's Day next month. Although I don't know it's going to be quilted by then. But I'm not going to hang this one up either just because it's so small. But I finished putting that together. And let's see what else I did. Now, when I had done my Rediscovering My Stash series back in the fall, I had ran across some old embroidery projects where I had embroidered them, hand embroidery, but I never did anything with it. So, this was one of them. Let me show you. This project. So I'd had these projects and I had embroidered all 6 of these, and I put it into a top. So I've got that all done. So I think I'm just going to use this as like a little table topper, table runner to put on my coffee table. I think it's good for Valentine's Day. It's not, it doesn't have hearts, but it's red. It could also be Christmassy. Now, when I'm just going to do some straight line quilting on that here on my domestic, so hopefully I can get that done this week. And I'm not using quilt batting in it. I'm going to use this Pellon Flex Foam. It's not batting, it's more spongier, thicker. So I use this a lot in like bags and things instead of using quilt batting. A lot of people will use quilt batting in those. I prefer this. It just gives it more body and makes it stand up a little bit more. But since I have this piece and it is the perfect size for this, I'm going to use that. So I talked about last week, my only goal for this year was to spend less and use more stash. So I did do a little spending this week, but I didn't buy fabric. I'd had a gift card for Christmas, so I went to Joann's and I bought me another bolt of the Pellon Flex Foam. Like I said, I use it in bags, so I usually keep it on hand anyway. So I still think I'm doing good on my goal. Because that's like a staple for me that I need. I'm not just buying fabric to have it. I'm buying stuff that I use. So, there we go. All right, and then I worked on some other quilting projects. Let's see, and this is the backing for that little table topper I have. Now, I haven't cut it out yet. Sorry, I'm moving my... But since I finished the Creative Notions project, I got another Creative Notions project out. I haven't cut it out yet. It's just sitting there. Hopefully I can get it cut out later today. And that's just going to be this apple core quilt. There you go. There's the template. But after I get all those pieces cut out, that will go together pretty quickly. Or should anyway. Of course, the way I do my rotations of quilt, it might take a little bit longer. It's okay. What else did I do? Well, I worked on another Creative Notions subscription box from a few years back, making this, the chain link quilt. Now, this particular Creative Notions bag, the main project was basically like hexagon things, and I didn't want to do that, but they had this as an alternate pattern. So I decided to do that. So here is where I am. Let's see. So I made all the individual blocks. All these individual blocks, and I snowballed or did stitch and flip corners with a little piece of this purple fabric right here on the blocks that needed to be. And now I have all of this pinned together into rows, and this is on point. So like there is one row. Let's see. And here's like the second row, and so on. So I worked on that. So I think that is everything that I've worked on this week as far as sewing and quilting. Let me show you what I did in cross stitch. All right, I have my cross stitch, but let's go back to sewing for a minute. Now I do have a couple goals this week. I don't know if they're going to happen, but I'm going to try. I would, like I said before, I would like to get that Crown Royal quilt quilted. However, like I said, the long arm's not here. It's at my parents', and I've got a busy week with appointments and errands and things, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but I would like to get it done. I also want to do just some straight line quilting on a domestic with this, which that shouldn't be a big deal. I would also like to do that first 3-yard quilt from my 2024 advent calendar that my husband picked out for me. So I would like to do that, and we'll see. We'll see if I get it all done. But that's just kind of where I'm at. And also, if I have extra time, I doubt this is going to be done, but I would like to start on my 2 block of the months I'm going to do this year. This will probably be the following week, but we'll see. Now, as far as cross stitch goes, let's see. I was working on the Simply Sayings from Little Stitch Girl, and this was the Simply Saying July. My heart beats true for the red, white, blue. Should have an and in there, but it just says, but it doesn't, just red, white, blue. So I finished that. And here's that. Now, I will press this before I put it into a final finish. I stitch in hand, so I kind of crumple up all the fabric so it gets wrinkles in it, but that's okay. And I started on the Simply Saying August, which is this. Summer is a state of mind. Haven't got very far in that, but there we are. Now these all are done on 14 count 8N. I'm using DNC floss. All right, crochet. So I had finished my progressive tunic I had been working on from the Curvy Girl crochet book. I don't have it here, right here. And I put it together. So here it is. There's the armholes, it's the tank top. Now, as I suspected, this is a little big, but it still works well once I put a cardigan over it, because this is going to be more of a layering piece anyway. And this yarn is 100% cotton, so I'm sure once I wash it, put it in the dryer, it's going to shrink a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. But it is all done. So there's that. All right, so I finished that. So, and I'm trying to use more things. I was getting into my little stash of what I call my kitchen yarn, which is some of the scrubby type yarn that I have. And I made a few things out of that real quick. I have these. These are just Swiffer pads. I know. This pink yarn is this it's kind of more like an abrasive scrubby type yarn. It's not this yarn, because this is also scrubby yarn, but it's thicker, and I paired it with this type of yarn to make these Swiffer pads for my Swiffer Wet Jet, because a Swiffer Wet Jet just has some Velcro on it, and it will Velcro in there, and then when I'm in a quick hurry and I want to like kind of mop things, I'll use my Swiffer Wet Jet real quick, and then I can throw these off and wash them. So I made a few of those, trying to use up that yarn, and I did. And then I made a couple washcloths with this type of yarn that was left over from making those. Just made 2 washcloths. Alright, because when I get done with a bigger project, I like to do something quick and simple just to do in between, which is what that is. So, I think I have about 2 more skeins of this little scrubby yarns, and then I'll be done with that. I do have a bunch of these too that I can make some different dishcloths out of. So I'm trying to use my stash, get some of this stuff done and out of here. I'm trying. Alright, so then I started on my next big crochet project, which is not super big. Actually, I've got quite a bit of it done already. And that is this Avery sleeved shawl. So it's a shawl with sleeves. Here we go. So started on that. Yep, I got some ends right there that from where I had to get a new ball of yarn. I only have a few more rows to add to this, and then I can make the sleeves. I don't know if I'm going to add the fringe on it because I'm not really a fringy type of person. We'll have to see. So I worked on that. And I finished one more project. Let me get it. I finished this diamond painting called Snowy Village. This is from Diamond Dots. And it is all done. So I can start a new diamond painting. Okay, so that's everything I worked on for this week. Till next time.